Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Foxman Plays Planet Coaster. What episode is this? This is episode 20. And you know what? I apologize for the previous episode. Something happened towards the end that happened before. I don't know, the video just went blank. Which is weird because when I go to the render file, it's like, or the raw file, it's okay. So something's going on with the renderings after the fact, and I apologize for that. But I just got back from Norway, so I'm a little tired. I'm a little just like out of the routine and all that kind of stuff. So I apologize in advance for being all sorts of sloppy. But yeah, we're here. This is our little thing that we finished up in the last episode when the screen kind of went blank. Nothing too crazy. Of course, it'll come together a lot more when we have vegetation and all that good stuff. Just like most of the other things we have going on here, the bushes and the plants and the trees and all that are gonna go a long way. I love seeing that stuff floating. So this episode, what am I gonna do? Well, one, I'm gonna get the lighting a little bit brighter. Let's pause it for a moment. Yes, I know there's a lot of litter. It seems like this park is going to hell in a handbasket. Of course it would. It's only got one one open ride. This one works, but people can't get to it yet. So yeah, I'm back. I'm gonna be, I guess, talking a little bit about what I did while I was away over the next few episodes, and I'm actually this is the kicker. I'm going away again tomorrow for family Christmas stuff. So this is gonna be kind of like a shorter-ish episode, as well as the next episode after this, and so on and so forth for a couple days, just because I'm gonna be away. So I apologize. But one thing I remember, I wanted to work on this little path here. Not the path itself necessarily, but the whole area. We're gonna have to redo the path because I had mentioned I didn't really like how it was. But maybe part of that has to do with the fact that I want to get the terrain a little more involved and do some more, how do I say, just like where the path really relies on the what am I trying to, yeah, man, it's so weird not having played this game for over a week. I guess the best thing would just to show you, but even still, I'm not necessarily sure how I want to do it. I do kind of want to pull this terrain out a bit so that this is not, I guess, relying on supports like it is. So I think we can get away with that. And then we pepper in some, like, what do we do here? Huh. Okay, you know what? Let's just go for it. I can sit here and think about what I'm gonna do, but a lot of the times it helps me just to do something, figure it out if I like it or not, and then yeah, also the delete path button. That's something I forgot about, which is making my life way easier. Okay, so let's go to our terrain, and let's just pull it out. So yeah, I mean, yesterday was the day I got back from Norway, and then today's been kind of like a cleanup day. Like during the day, I got my hair cut, because I actually needed my haircut before I went to Norway, but time just kind of got too consumed with other stuff. And then I also got groceries today. Checked the PO box. Went into the storage unit to put my big luggage thing back in there because I don't need it taking up space in my apartment. We got, like, in my apartment building, you go into the basement. There's, like, you know, access to the underground parking. There's the laundry room, and then they have a series of rooms for storage. Like, you go into one room and there's maybe a dozen kind of cages, so you get to put your own lock on it. The kicker is you need to go to the management office to get the key to unlock the door, like the room door, and then you go in there and then you've got your own little padlock on it. But the kicker of the kicker is that they're only open kind of like during business hours to get the key, so you can't just go in whenever you want. And it sucks because those hours are shorter than the, you know, like a 9-to-5 job. So it's like if you want to get access, you either have to go on a Saturday or during the week, like get time off work. But fortunately, I'm off work because of the holidays, so it wasn't so bad. What am I doing here? Flatten to foundation. Let's just pull this up kind of in general, actually, and then we'll roughen it up a little bit more. I just gotta figure out how far I want this to be in general. All right, but yeah, doing laundry and just trying to relax a bit too. I've been taking a lot of naps throughout the day. That's just like my body's like, all right, this is happening. I fell asleep on the couch, and then I just more recently. That's also kind of why I'm a little groggy and tired right now, because like I just got up from a little nap. Okay, now let's see here. This, I might pull this out a bit more, make it a little more gradual. I kind of want to leave the head part mostly as is, but over here I might pull this terrain out a little. Do we do that? Yeah, let's do that. Let's edit this bad boy. For now, I'm just gonna take the supports off, like all the way around here, but then we'll bring them back after. It's just gonna make it a little bit easier. That looks so weird though, without the supports, particularly on a wooden coaster. Particularly. Yeah, the naps have been good, but I'm trying to get my sleep schedule back to normal. That's the thing, because Norway's 6 hours ahead. So going there, it's a bit harder going forward in time. I feel at least at that 6 hour mark. Coming back is pretty easy, but the problem is the flight. It was okay, like the flight technically. But my seatmate was a jackass. I think it was his first time flying, or he was just very oblivious, and like, it's okay. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, if it's your first time flying on a plane, you should be like a master. But like anything, there's a certain etiquette. Honestly, it's like, it's the same in many regards as maybe just riding a bus or something, okay? Pretend it's just a flying bus. So he basically, my beef with the guy was like he couldn't keep his arms to inside of his own seat. So this is a larger plane, and there's there's 3 seats on the right side, an aisle, 4 seats in the middle, and then an aisle, and then 3 seats on the other side. So we're on the right side, and I had the aisle seat. He was in the middle, and then there was this lady who was in the window seat. So he was right in between the two of us. And the as far as my understanding is, the unwritten rule is the person who's in the middle gets both armrests. That leaves an armrest for the window person on the window side and an armrest for the aisle person on the aisle side. So it's like, alright, this is fine, this guy's in the middle, you know, that's the way it's gonna be. That's fine. He can have those armrests. I'll just use my one and enjoy quick access. What am I actually doing here? And enjoy quick access to the washroom and all that other stuff. That's what I get. But so he's putting his arms, like his arm on the armrest and his elbow, but then his elbow kept extending the way he was putting it, and he's a small guy. This is the thing, I'm a small guy. He was no taller than I was. His legs had minimal reach, ergo his arms are not huge, and he was a thin guy too, and so it's not like he just couldn't help but spill over. I've sat in the planes with people of all shapes and sizes, you know, and that's fine. He was small, so it's like, oh, actually I didn't have to remove the supports. So I was like, oh, this is easy. I don't have to worry about him spilling over. But his elbows were just like the way he was positioning. So if I was trying to sit like back and kind of relax a little, I could feel his elbow in me. And I'm just like, dude, you know, what's going on here? And he just kept doing, I think he was just so oblivious. He didn't even realize he was doing it. And he kept fidgeting his arms around and I'm going to increase the size of this. And he couldn't sit still. Again, I'm not blaming him for that. But every time he would move, like, he was, like, hitting me. He was knocking into my arms, like, violently. And he would itch himself, and he would be fixing his hair, and he'd be, like, doing all this shit. And I was just like, oh, is this guy, like, he has no concept of personal space at all. And it really started to bother me. So it got to a point where I started to be a little passive-aggressive for a while. And I actually started using the armrest. It's like, hey, man, this is a privilege, not a right. Alright? If you're going to be a jackass, I'm going to be a jackass back. And, you know, ignorance and being oblivious, at that point, I was just like, that's not an excuse. Alright? You're a human being, you should have enough common decency to, like, not fucking elbow me. Just over and over. And so I put my arm on the armrest. And then he would just, like, kind of put his arm on top of mine or up against mine. Like, he would try and share the armrest. And I was like, you don't do that, man. You don't do that. Even if I'm wrong in putting my arm on the armrest, you don't share. Okay? That's no fun for nobody. So it was just like a constant 7 hours of this, pretty much. And like, there was a couple times where I just looked over to him and I was like, come on, man. And he's just like, it's like he didn't acknowledge me verbally talking to him. I don't know. It was just bad. I felt weird that I almost had to, like, you know, it's like you're talking to a kid. You gotta set him aside and be like, listen, Billy, we don't throw stones at other people. It's just not right. Like, do you understand that? I should have, you know, it's like, you just started throwing stones at Billy. Like, how does this feel, Billy? And then you get him right in the kisser. So That's essentially what I did. I was just doing elbows with them. I guess it's not as dramatic. I was like, there's no way this guy's this oblivious. But he was. Anyways, I gotta figure. Let me stop telling this shitty story for a second and figure out what I'm doing here. I'm not quite liking maybe how this is turning out. I don't know. That's the thing. I can't talk and design adequately sometimes. Some people might say I can't design adequately all the time. I'm just kind of wondering about this transition. I kind of want to keep this little bit of a cliff part right there. I don't want to lose too much of the sleeping giant himself. But, I mean, really, it's more from this side. You kind of want to be able to see him. But I think it might be okay over there. Alright. So now what I'm going to do... Get the size down to 3. 3 should be good. Try to make this a little bit more cliff-like on this side, though. But yeah, it's just like, it's weird. It never really occurred to me that you would have to teach, you would verbally have to train somebody on how to sit on a freaking bus or a plane. Like there's for certain, I don't know, there's like, yeah, there's etiquette. And I feel like most people figure it out by themselves. And I always thought, yeah, I figure stuff out by doing. And by looking and watching and seeing how other people are doing stuff. And just also making mistakes, you know, and somebody might be like I get the hint, basically, is what I'm saying. If I was sitting there and I had my elbows going flailing all, and then some dude starts like physically poking me, then I might be like, oh, this is weird. What did I do wrong? Why is this guy doing this? And then I'd be like, oh, that's right, like. I keep, like, basically jolting his arm and shit every time I go to itch my nose. Like, I'm not joking when it wasn't like he was just lightly touching me. This guy was violently, like, moving his arms about and itching himself, and every time he did that, he would just be molesting my arm. And I was like, what the fuck? And I did verbally tell him. I was like, I mean, again, I didn't say, like, hey, man, like, could you maybe just stop flailing your arm so like crazy, or just like stop touching me? I probably, in hindsight, I probably should have done that, because it was 7 hours of hell, and I think he needed to be put in the corner and like talked to. But it feels weird talking to somebody your age or older. He might have been a bit older. I don't know. And just being like, hey, you know, it's not right. We're sitting on here and you're freaking jabbing me. That's not cool, man. So, I don't know, PSA, if you're on the bus, or subway, or any form of public transit, and you're forced to sit next to somebody, just don't jab them. It's not cool. Alright? Just be considerate. Now that guy is going to go on for the rest of his life jabbing people. I really should have, for the better of humankind, I really should have told him that that's not cool. It's going to be a serial arm jabber. And those are the worst kind of... Is that a thing? Like, what, serial killers are a thing? Can I be like a serial poutine eater? I don't know. That'd be sweet. Alright, I'm just trying to kind of break some of this stuff up a little bit more. But I definitely want to get kind of like a little mini cliff-like thing. We can put a few more like low-lying bushes here, a couple trees, and then of course we're gonna have more of just like a foresty type thing up here. Also, I should probably pull up some of this. Let's see. Let's see here. We'll have to come back to a lot of this stuff just to make it feel a little more right. But volumetrically, the general shape of it, you know, it's going okay. We'll just leave it like that for now. Alright. We should probably pull up some of this stuff a little bit more too. Yeah, and then I got to the baggage claim after I got off the flight. This is the flight back, by the way. The flight there to Norway was great. Like, it couldn't have gone any better. I had great seatmates. They were good. Minimal technical difficulties. There's a bit of a delay on the flight going there. But then once we got on the plane, it was like way quicker because we had a tailwind. So that kind of helps push the plane along. And that actually helped us make up time. For the most part. But anyways, it all worked out. So I'm a happy boy. But when I got off this plane, and then you go to your baggage check, if you checked in a bag, which I did because I was there for a week, so I had more than I could fit into a single carry-on. So I'm waiting there, not too close to the baggage, but you know, within a couple feet, and like people just have no concept of personal space, and I don't know what the deal was. This old lady comes up behind, and instead of just like standing right beside me like a normal human, she just stands there, and then she physically put her left arm in front and tried to like push me back. And she did this to another person on her right side. She's like, "Hey, why does everybody have to be so close to the baggage? I can't see what's coming." And it's like, oh, you motherfucker. No, none of us can see what's coming because there's nothing coming. And she did this half a dozen times. And I was so close to just being like, listen, I know this would make headlines for multiple reasons, like a young Canadian shithead beats the crap of an elderly woman. So like, first people be like, oh, this guy hates women. Oh, this guy hates old people. Oh, this guy is fine. You know, whatever. They probably labeled me as like a PCP user or something. I don't know. But I was just like, I was so aggravated. It's like, have some patience, please. I just got off a flight and a total flying time and like travel time of like 12 hours. And I had a bad flight. Like, please, lady, just back the F up. I didn't say that, but like I wanted to, and I was like, you know what? She got off the same flight as me, so you know I'm gonna go. You know, she probably had a bad flight, maybe. I'm not gonna lay into her. I should, but I'm not gonna. My only hope and desire was that she would extend the same courtesy to me. Of course, she didn't give a shit, because I'm not generalizing, but because I love a lot of old people, but she was a cranky old lady. Like, somebody needs to show her some loving. And I think that should be Northern Lion. But anyway, she kept doing it, and like, fortunately, her bag came in the first round, and then she got the hell out of there. I was like, oh, thank God. But then this other guy, this Stinky, he had bad BO. And again, I understand, it happens. but it didn't make the situation any better. And he comes up. He's like, "Oh, this is the flight from Amsterdam." He didn't talk like a bro at all, actually, but I'm protecting his identity, so you don't really know who he is. But he wasn't a bro, but he's like, "This is the flight from Amsterdam." I was like, "Yes. Yes." He's like, "You're from Amsterdam?" I was like, "Yes." I mean, you're wondering why I'm saying Amsterdam, because there was a connecting flight. So you go Oslo to Amsterdam, Amsterdam to Toronto. And then he stands there, and he was just like, sitting again, way too close. He was like backing up, and basically I was like kissing the back of his neck, and then I'd have to move. I was like, "But I was here first, I'm not gonna move." Anyways, what am I doing here? Okay, you know what? This is good. Although, wait, let me think. Hold on. We'll get back to the story in a minute. We're actually gonna extend this part out a bit, or up and out, and then we're gonna have the path go over it. Okay. So yeah, he was just like, it's like, "No, you can't steal my spot. I was the first one here. I've been waiting patiently." And at this point, like, there was maybe a dozen bags that came out, and then we had to wait 10 or 15 minutes for all of the rest to come out for you know. That shit happens. It's fine, but it happens. So we're all just kind of waiting there, like, the rest of the plane, you know, a couple hundred people, and so he's just like, it's just like standing there so close. It's like, and he kept kind of being kind of fidgety, looking around, kind of moving, pacing back and forth and all this stuff, and every time he did, he'd be bumping into me, and I was just like, "I just can't catch a break today. Please let me get out of this motherfudging airport." And then the bags start moving again. They start coming out. And then that's like, okay, sweet. This is good. But of course my bag wasn't coming. Or it wasn't one of the first ones off. And after another 5 minutes of bags coming out, finally I think he sees his. So he gets his little freaking baggage cart. He walks off to the side, gets it, rams it back in there, like drives over my foot with one of the wheels. That was great. Then he gets his bag. As he's pulling it off, he's like, he started stepping backwards into me, and I couldn't actually, at this point, I couldn't physically move back because there was enough people in the way, or behind me. And so he starts like pulling back, and he's coming into me, and then he starts swinging the baggage off, and it just lands like on my entire left leg and foot, and it was so big. He didn't say anything because he didn't have any iota of a clue of what the hell he was doing. And I'm just like, "Dude!" And it just didn't acknowledge me. And I get so mad when people have no clue what they're doing, because I don't think it's an excuse to be that spatially unaware. And you know what? If you're like that, it's okay. Like, I kind of understand. But if somebody says something to you and you don't even acknowledge it, that's when you're jackass. It's like, listen, I have my moments sometimes. I bump into people, this or that. It just kind of happens. But I'll at least be like, "Oh shit, sorry man, like I didn't see you," or like, "Oh, you know, this luggage really got a hold of me." Like, I don't know. Like, you say something at least, and if they say something to you, you'd be like, "Oh man, I'm sorry." But no, he didn't, and I almost lost it at that point. I was just like, I am a law-abiding citizen. I don't deserve this malarkey. And it's been a long day. So Yeah. And I know these are like first world problems and all that stuff, but at the same time, you spend a lot of money on a plane ticket. You kind of like want it to be a decent experience, you know? I don't think that's so much to ask, personally. And I know how people act. It's not something that the airline can really control, but I don't know. This is kind of why I can't wait for robots and stuff and robot police. Because they'll always be watching. And they'll be like, hey, that guy, like, technically isn't breaking the law, but I kind of feel like there should be behavior police. Like, that guy just dropped luggage on this dude who was standing there before him. That ain't right. I feel like they should be able to send you to jail for that. Not actually, I'm just joking. How wide did we make these? 5? Yeah, okay. Okay. I just didn't want this path to be completely flat, so I'll probably do some similar stuff over here. Actually, I might fix that a bit. But I also have to, yeah, it just seems a little odd right now, but anyways. Does that seem... Actually, yeah, that's okay. Okay, we'll come back and do tweaks to any of this stuff as necessary. I don't quite like... I want it to be flat. That's my problem. So let's flatten this a little bit. Just in this area in particular. Get the path, and then we can do some fixing up. Yeah, let's actually extend this a bit. Okay, path. There we go. So we'll get it all on this general level, and then where's my soften? Actually, you know what? Pull it out a little bit more, and then we'll soften it. Just a touch here before we put the path on. Okay. But yeah, I don't know. You pay money for stuff, especially a lot of money, and you're like, I want this to be okay. Just please be okay. So there you go. There you go. But how was the trip itself? Was great. Like, I had a great time, very relaxing. Last time I went to Norway for Christmas, I was sick as a dog, so I couldn't taste shit. I'm just gonna leave that for now. But this time, you know, I felt pretty great. I got over the jet lag sort of quickly, but then sort of not. Like, I was always waking up fairly early, but that was, in a way, was a good thing. I didn't want to spend my time sleeping, you know? I did go to bed early. Most of the nights, like way earlier than I'm used to. It was kind of weird, but again, it was nice just waking up and being like, heck yeah, let's just, you know, let's get up and then relax some more. It was very nice. We ate for food. I love the breakfast. Which they do, so like, if you're not from Europe, that's cool. I'm not. But they we would have like usually like eggs, either hard boiled or sunny side up. An assortment of breads. They have this like kind of flat bread. It's not a pita per se. I'm trying to think of the closest thing. It's not like an English muffin either. It's flatter than that. It's kind of closer to the diameter, not quite of a pita, but it's nice. And then you put some. I like to get the mayo on there, and then you get like some ham, and some mustard, and then you just go to town. And then they also have the rye bread, like actual rye bread. Not the stuff you find in America, but it's like really dense and thin. And you put the egg on it. And again, with like mayo or something like that. Kind of like an open face sandwich. Just the one piece of bread. And then you go to town and different spreads. And then they have this stuff. It's kind of like it's a potato. It's based on potato. It's like a wrap made of potato. And then you can do like salty or sweet, but they do, you spread a little Nutella in there, maybe get a little cinnamon, some sugar, and then you roll it up. It's good. Okay, what am I doing here? Oh, I need to get this path in. Let's see. Oh, shoot. You know what? I didn't really think of the height of this. Yeah. Okay, let's no, that's okay. We can deal with this. We can deal with it. But yeah, the breakfast is good. And because it takes me a few hours to get an appetite, that's why it was nice to kind of wake up a few hours like early. And then I would just kind of lie there, and then when I really couldn't get any more sleep, you get at the laptop, play some Hearthstone in bed, catch up on the news and all that, and then we'd go upstairs and we'd have a nice little family breakfast. It's quite nice. Well, that's pretty decent height. Let's see though. I don't want to have to lower it all to that height, so let's just try to gradually do this. Let's see. I'm gonna undo all the work. I know this episode's been like blah, but my brain is mush right now. But I figured I should try to do some stuff before I go away again. I don't want there to be a week-long lapse in episodes. So I should probably actually try to end this one soon, even though we haven't really got. Like, this should not take a half hour for a human being to do, but I found a way. But yeah. Yeah, it was good breakfast. I liked it. And then the other thing is, like, we did the Christmas kind of celebration on Christmas Eve is when you open the presents. Which, to me, is fine. It's just different. In my family, we open the gifts Christmas morning. Over in this Norway celebrations, we did it kind of Christmas Eve evening after dinner, which is cool too. I got to hang out with Maya's family, like her niece and nephew, who don't speak English. Well, her niece speaks a little bit, but the nephew, he doesn't. So it was fun to kind of trying to deal with that language barrier, because I'm okay with kids, I'd say. Most people, I think, would agree with me. I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm good with kids, but it's just it's a thing. I like kids. They tend to like me. So it was a fun little challenge. How do I want to do this? It's a fun little challenge. Trying to figure out like how to have a good time with them without really relying on language. Although, actually, it turned out the language barrier ended up kind of helping in a way, because it was almost like a little game, like what's he saying or what are they saying. And the one phrase that I learned with them, and I could taught them in English as well, was, so it's like, can you help me? Because Maya's niece was doing some, like, you know, the little plastic pieces of the hole, and then you can put them through a string and make like bracelets or necklaces or whatever the heck you want. She was doing that, but the little string thing kind of kept getting these frayed edges, and it was hard to cut with the scissors. So she kind of like keep asking me, can you help me? Because she wanted my help to kind of cut it. And of course, anytime she'd just look at me and say something in Norwegian, I'd be like, what? And I turned to Maya, I'm like, what's she saying? And she's like, oh, she's like, yeah, saying, can you help me? And I'm like, oh, yes, of course. And then, like, after a while, I kind of just, like, we had a process. She just, like hand me the scissors and I'd do it. But, then her nephew, I think he was saying the same thing. I was like, what? So they're like, oh yeah, no, that they're saying, can you help me? It's like, oh, it's like, okay, how do I say it? And then, so can do help am I? Can do yap am I? Can do yap am I? Can you help me? And then I taught them, and then it's like, now this is how you say it in English. Can you help me? It was fun. I liked it. Also, thank you is tak. And you're welcome is varsågod. Varsågod. I think that's it. Rikte is like you're right. Like, good job. Go Yol. Go Yol. Okay, we gotta lower that a little bit. Go Yol. I had a good time. And for dinner, I had the duck and the pork, the pork belly with the crispy pork belly. Is it the pork belly? It's pork. And yeah, so it's basically like they're making pork rinds. And it's incredible because it's this thing. It's this huge thing where you try to it's very important the way you cook it to make sure that it puffs up and it pops or it cracks. And then the end result is these nice pork rind kind of things on the top of the pork. And it's good. It's good. But there's like a science to it. And it's really cool. Like, okay, let's see if I don't like this little crack there. Okay, now I can visually kind of see where it's happening. Let me see if I can. This might just shift it. Let's just see. But yeah, like how here in Christmas morning we'd oh, I think I see why. Let's do this. That might not help at all. But yeah, you could pull on the TV and you'd see just like it's like a fireplace going. As weird as that is. Oh. Okay, you know what? Let's just go with that. Oh, it's still gonna do the line. You know, we can always come back and fix that. Let's just see about. I think I need this to go a bit more this way. Just flatten out a good section. Although I want it to get a little bit higher too. See if we can get away with this. Alright. Was I talking about? Yeah, you could pull on the TV and you'd see on Christmas morning and whatnot. And it's a fireplace. Well, there they have a show. It's just like it's in the oven and it's showing the pork slowly cooking to the point of the popping, the cracking up, popping up. Pop it and you lock it, which I thought was awesome. That is such a thing, popular thing. There we go. See, that's a bit better of a transition. We don't get this weird little line there. So what I could do is delete this. Try to get the transition a little bit nicer. Alright, smooth it out now. That doesn't look... Oh! Undo. There we go. It's really actually this transition right... Okay, right here, I think. Let's get the size down a bit more. Pull this up. Smooth it. We'll see how that does. Okay. Path it up. Nah, it's still might be oopsies. Camera, don't be a damn fool. It's right there. So I don't know if that's like just too low or too high. Let's see here. Should have generally lowered it a tiny bit. Yo. No, okay, no. That's odd. Hey, you can't see it from here though. I'll just leave it for now, but when we get really nitpicky later, we can come back and just fix it. Of course, I'll probably forget. Now, terrain, we need to slowly actually lower this. Let's just get it kind of going here. In general. Smooth it out. I could do flatten the surface and angle it a bit. Might not be a bad idea, but I want it relatively... Shoot. Actually, though, that's okay. We gotta push these sides back. Just rough it out. Slowly rough it out. Until we get what we want. This ain't no rush. Okay. Smooth it out. And then, let's see if we can get the path down here before we rough it out too much more. Because I might have to... I think I just heard... Is that Discord? I think I need to get this corner here kind of cut back a little bit. Oh, wrong button. Alright. Alright. Hopefully this gradient isn't too steep. Or we get more of those weird, like, little lines. So far, so... Oh, snap dizzle. That's actually not bad. We've got to fix the transition there. Actually, let's push this down slowly. Smooth it out slowly. And get you out of the way too. There we go. Okay. Path it up. I don't want you like that. Go away for a bit. Go away. There. No. Dude. Okay. Path. There we go. Let's just try to get like a natural... You know what? If we go less, it'll be easier. I don't want it to go in at a right angle like that. But I guess maybe I don't really have a choice. I kind of wanted it to flow more this way, but then I guess if we're having the path go that way, it's okay. Well, if... Then you know what? Let's go back up. What? There. That's okay. That's okay. I know it looks kind of bumpy. But it makes it feel a little more natural, I think. I'm just not sure how I feel about that. I do want the slope to be kind of smooth for the path. But at the same time... Yeah. Alright, let's... I'm gonna quickly finish up just cleaning up some of this stuff. I think next episode we'll just kind of come back and work on this a little bit more as I ease back into the game that is Planet Coaster. I want to start the Avro Arrow, but I think I'm gonna wait until after this little short what do you call it? Backlog. Again, it's a mini backlog. It's not as big as the last one. Again, thank you guys so much for just generally being cool while I've been away. I don't like to do backlogs, but it was kind of necessary for me. Given that I couldn't really record them from there. And I don't want to do that while I'm there. I wanted to hang out. It was nice getting away from the internet for the most part. Like, internet's a pretty cool place, but it's also can be kind of nasty sometimes, and it's like, I don't know, it just adds more complication to our lives on occasion. It's just nice to kind of just get away from it and just relax and do other stuff. So, I was happy about that. Like I when I was there, it's like I don't, not really missing too much. You know, it's like when I'm here in my Canadian life, living and all that stuff, the internet is more of a thing in my daily routine. But when I was there, it's like, all right, whatever. Like I'll check up on the news and stuff like that, watch a few videos in bed or whatever, but that's about it. But I did miss YouTube, like YouTubing, like making videos and stuff like that. I do enjoy that and being able to share. It's just because that's like kind of in my control, you know. I can put content out there that's not superbly negative or sad. Hopefully not anyways. I know this episode, the start of it, me talking about this guy, the jabber, that's I guess kind of negative, but you know, I just wanted people to feel my my pain. I'm gonna just quickly try and make this look a little bit more cliff. Like, well, I'm gonna do some texture painting and stuff as well. I want this kind of like this part here to be more rocky in general, kind of like this, but I'm not gonna rely on the auto texture to do it for me. Let's just pull some of the stuff up. Again, this is gonna look better once we actually get some trees and such going on, but just get the basis going. We can definitely pull this up. There we go. Just kind of pull it up a little bit at a time. Flatten the surface a bit. There we go. There we go. And we'll put like a lot of like boulders and stuff more sporadically out here as well to make it seem kind of more rocky, I guess. Yeah. This is cool though. How this transitions. I gotta fix. Actually, we do probably theoretically. I should have rails on this, so I'll fix it up to a point. But I also want to fix this transit. I just don't like how this looks at all. So I'm gonna do another bit of rock stuff. I think over here, a smaller one, and maybe pull this out a bit more, just so it's like they're walking through. Kind of, there's rock on either side, close, not too close that they feel claustrophobic, and then there's this going over top. So these supports, you won't see any supports there. And then it'd be actually cool to, oh man, to maybe almost design the bridge pretty much like this, right? We'll use this as the archway and then have the path going through or something like that. It'd be cool. I might try to rough it out a little bit, but we'll see. That'll take more work than I'm probably anticipating, because you guys know me. You guys know me. All right. I'm gonna call it here just because of stuff. I want to be able to record another few episodes, so we're gonna clean some more of this stuff up next episode. Just go about it slowly. Thank you guys again for your patience and for you know, just enjoying the videos in general. It feels nice. It's good to be back sort of for a day, and then I'm gonna be away again doing Christmas stuff with my family and on this side of the ocean. So that'll be good, but it'll be good when I'm back for just back in the bit of the routine. It's always kind of nice getting out of the routine, and it's also kind of nice getting back into it and having slightly more predictability in your days, I guess. Plus, traveling is kind of tiring. Anyways, yeah, we'll keep doing this into the next episode. Take it nice and slow and transition, and maybe I tell some more stuff about Norway. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, that's gonna do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I will catch you in the next one. Until then, peace out.